down the hammer and pick up the pencil. You're about to listen to the Savvy Radio Show. Learn from real-life real estate investors, experience revealed with the Savvy Landlord as your host.
Today's gonna be a good day. Everybody should never have a cell phone. I'll just play it. All right, today, who's your first time? Okay, welcome. This is your time. This is a meetup. We're talking about how to hire contractors. My job is just to mediate if we're trying to help each other, okay? Today we're giving away prizes. I got about 15 prizes up here. If you bring something to the table today, you get to pick whatever you want. I got some DVDs from Les Brown. I got some summaries. These are about $40 a piece. Some books. So the goal for today is to what? Help each other, right? Don't be shy. If you have a cell phone, it's okay. We're all cool with the cell phones. Who has an Apple phone? Put your hand down.
It's not a real phone, sorry.
It's Android. Okay. So does anybody have any problems with contractors?
I need one right now. I need somebody who can refinish bathtubs.
Refinish bathtubs.
And have some
$600
decent
I got a
price.
guy that can do
$600.
tubs.
Huh?
What's his phone number? What's his name? What's his number?
Not tile jobs. I'm talking about refinish the porcelain tub.
Yeah. $600. The claw tub?
No, I just want it's a regular tub, but the porcelain wears out.
First of all, how much does it cost for the
refinish?
ref? I can do this. You can do this in 10 minutes.
I got a guy that just did it for $250.
I want him. That's what I need. Right
That's
there.
what you need there.
There you go. Get without. All right. How do you do it? First of all, to be successful in hiring contractors, what's the number one thing you need to know?
Be on time.
Yeah, and you're late. What's the next thing? If you want to be, I'm serious. You want to be successful. You know where I make all my money? Construction. But it's not buying houses. I make money saving money when I'm rehabbing houses. Most investors pay twice what I pay. How? Why? Because I know exactly what it takes. He's paying $600. He's paying $250. Who's made $400? Right? So, what's the number one thing to hire a handyman, contractor, maintenance person? What's the number one thing? Write this down. Know what you're dealing with. Know what you're looking for. Know all about what you're trying to do. Okay? Know, and how do you find information? If you don't know what, I can tell you how I can get that tub done. Now, is it something that you're going to sell?
Yeah.
Okay, I can get that tub done for $80.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crappy though. That's
Right. That's what I'm saying. You got to know what you're looking for.
That's
He's talking about a claw tub, so he's totally talking. See, you see the confusion here? I'm trying to teach you a lesson here. He's saying 600. He's saying 250. I'm saying 80. Right?
Yeah, but the 80.
But
you're
here's
talking
listen.
about
Don't say
that
nothing.
75
Listen.
on
Pay
that.
attention.
Yeah.
You understand? It's interpretation. That's the problem with hiring a handyman. Interpretation. What one man says, what another man says, what a woman says, they're all totally different. You got to know what you're getting into before you're hiring a handyman. That's the number one problem I run into. There's a great friend in this room. I hired a handyman. He was all G'd up on the beginning. Right?
Yeah.
You were all juicy. Woo! I was like, and what happened to that handyman?
He burned me.
Burned him. Has anybody been burned by a handyman?
Absolutely.
Has anybody been burned by a contractor? This is the number. I didn't bring my book up here. I got one out there. I wrote a book on this problem. This is the number one. I would think this room would be packed.
This is where you make your money.
This is where This is where I make my money. This is where I make my money. Right here. How to hire handyman. How to hire contractors. And I'm just amazed that people are not running up here. We're not banging down the door. This should be overflowing with people. Because this is the number one thing that gets I met someone yesterday. I helped them get into the game. They had like 12 houses. I saw them. I ran into them. Guess what? They're selling them all. Why? They can't handle it. Because they don't know what. You guys understand? So what's the difference between 600, 400, what'd you say? 250? In my world, 80. So
What's
right
the
there I made
difference?
$500.
Well, it depends, I guess, probably on what you want. I don't know what he's got, but I know what you're doing for 80 is not good enough quality for what I'm selling. I'm selling a $250,000 house.
Okay.
And it's got to look pretty decent, you know.
Well, here's the deal. Here's another problem.
Here's
You
the
can
deal.
go to the store right now and spend $45 and get a tub refinishing kit.
I know, but it's crap.
They peel. You gotta-
Not if you do it right.
Yeah. I've
The
done
problem
it for
is
a long time.
you can hire a handyman and he can go do it and it's going to be terrible, what they're saying. But if you read the instructions and you hire the right person, you're supposed to sand it down and do all this stuff. It takes a process.
Four-step process.
But you can do it. You okay, man? You look like you lost. You in the right spot? You a handyman?
He is now.
Okay, I can tell.
Come on in.
Something wrong with you. Shift your eye. Come on. He's looking around like.
Well, this is a pretty shifty looking lot.
It is. It's awesome that we're all investors. That we're all different sizes, shapes, and colors, and everything. All right. So another problem that I have. What's a flooring that people put? A lot of landlords put in right now.
Final plan.
Vinyl plank. Okay. There's a term for it. There's a glue down, not a glue down. That a floating lower floor. Now, for years I've been putting this floor in. For years. What I found out, and my friend just lost 55 units down in the hurricane down there, right? He said that's the best floor I ever had. He's like, we just picked it up, put a fan underneath the floor, it dried the floor, everything's great. Now, has anybody had any problems with this floor before? Yes, I have problems with this floor. Why? Because the guy that installs it does it wrong. This is what you have to do. If you read the instructions, it says you have to have the room at a certain particular temperature because the glue has to do its chemical reaction.
You don't glue it now.
This floor that I use.
Oh, okay.
And then,
not that floating floor.
Yeah, the floating floor. Then you have to roll it down, right? Mm-hmm. So people, what happens is that people are hiring the wrong person for the wrong job. That's the one person. That's the one problem. Okay. So everybody clear on that? If you're gonna come on in, buddy. Come on, Trevor. So what's the number one thing? Come on. Communicate. No, not communicate. Because you can tell. Because the guy can come up to you and say, "I know what I'm doing." He doesn't know what he's doing.
Know what you want.
Know what you want. No. Yep, expectation. But know what you're getting into. He doesn't know. He needs a tub. This happens every day. This guy is in need. He needs a tub done. He's never done it before.
He hears it a bunch of times. I just don't have a good
all right,
contract.
Just go with me there. Where's that book at? Put that shit out. He's never done it before. So he gets a good referral. I mean, this just happened to me on a job. And he gets a good referral, and he goes with them. He doesn't know, right? How do you find out? How do you know? How do you know if someone's going to do a good job? Someone said work with them? Who said that? Work with them? What do you mean by work with them?
I work side by side with them and watch them.
Oh.
That's one way.
I don't know how that I
Man, you got a lot of time, girl.
Well, you have to know more than them, too.
She said work with them. Well, isn't your husband or like a handyman?
That was before him. I know what he does.
Okay.
He's an expert.
So, how do I don't know that. I'm not handy at all. For real.
If you're going to buy your tile contractor a tile saw, there's your sign.
Okay.
You can ask him what his process is to do what you want done.
Exactly. If you were here last time, what do we call that? Peanut butter and jelly. Right? Remember the peanut butter and jelly test? Did I talk? Or was that on the radio? Okay. Sorry, I'm so confused. But yeah, that's the number one thing. Good job. Where are you at? Who said that? Come up here and get a book.
You get a book.
Go get a book.
You're getting a book. You're getting a book.
This is exactly how I interview people. This is how I interview every single contractor I hire. This is how I hire every handyman, every maintenance person. I ask them this question. You want the no excuses? This one? Okay, there you go. That's probably worth $1 million to somebody. Napoleon Hill, classic, original, right there. All right, he's exactly right. When I ask somebody, I'm interviewing somebody for maintenance that's going to be on my team. I ask them, sir. And I mean, I'm crazy. I asked him, sir, can you tell me how you're going to put in that door? And he's like, well, you know, I can tell in 3 minutes if he knows what he's doing. The guy that I'm really looking for, he goes, depends. Do you want me to paint it afterwards or not? Because I just went to a job site and guess what? Stuff was all over the place. And guess what I just been doing? Cleaning up behind somebody else. So that's my number one thing. Are they going to clean up after themselves? And are they just going to put the door in with all the holes exposed or all the nails exposed? But I'm thinking it's done. And so then I have my tenant move in and it's not done. Or my poor tenant doesn't even pay attention, doesn't even know, and it just becomes a problem. So how would you put a door in, Nathan?
Hire someone professional.
Okay. Does anybody want to give a chance? Tell me how you put a door in. Anybody? You got a handyman way in the back or handy gal? Tell me how you put. She's a real handyman. You're a handy girl, whatever the frick you are. I would, if I was you, tell me how you would put in a door.
Are you just talking about a regular interior door, exterior door, French door?
Exterior door.
Exterior door.
36L.
First you remove the old door, and also are you going to want it painted, or are you going to want it stained, or are you going to want, is it going to be a new
See, she's on the edge. I wouldn't hire her.
Okay.
No, I know who you are, so I'm just teasing you. Just the thing is, the first thing that I would be looking for, I would remove the trim.
Oh.
Right, remove the casing.
Remove the casing.
Get a sawzall and cut down.
Do you want me to save these knobs? Or are you going to have new hardware? Right? Because that to me,
is it pre-hung?
well, she said that already. I would give her a try because I heard she's really good. We can pass your card out because I heard you're really good. Is there a problem? Okay, so, but I'm just teasing you, okay? But like when I'm looking for a foreman, I'm looking for a job, a person, because we have a gal, female, lady, handy woman. I would ask that question because because they're thinking in advance. So what I do is I have a laminated piece of paper. I go, this is what I want it to look like, and this is what it is right here. So I show them before and after photos. Tell me, how would you make it look like this? Well, the first thing this is cutting out a stove top that's built in, and I want to put in a freestanding. All right, has anybody done that before? Mm-hmm. Okay. So it's not it looks intimidating, right? When you see it, you're like, wow, this is kind of a massive construction. You got to cut the cabinet, you got to remove the gas or the electric, right? Well, I always give all my people, if they don't know how they do it, I ask them that question: how would you get to this part? And when I usually hire the guy, he's like, well, first of all, if there's a gas line, I need to cut the gas off. But just the other day, someone's digging a hole. Guess what they did? It ripped out the whole hole and shut off all electricity on the property, right? They didn't get enough time to go call Okie, which is free. All right, so does everybody understand that? Can anybody translate that for us so we can get that? What did I just explain?
Expectations.
Expectations, or I think you should test them. Does anybody know what a PEX tool is for real? Who does not know what a PEX tool is? Okay, great. See, that's the number one question I ask a handyman. Do you know what a PEX tool is?
Do you have one?
And then that's my next question. Do you have one?
Those you use to cut the plumbing?
No, you don't cut plumbing with it. It's a crimper. When you plumb something and you connect it to the fitting, you use a PEX tool to crimp it down. Instead of soldering. Which there's a whole problem with plumbers right now. We're losing plumbers. People don't want to be plumbers. In about 20, 30 years, we're not going to have plumbing is going to go up about 3 times what it is right now. Okay, so because no one wants to be a plumber anymore. Everybody wants to play video games. So the thing is, now I'd always ask that question: can you sweat pipe? Does anybody know what that means?
Yes.
Okay. The next thing I ask is, do you have that tool? And this is my deal breaker question right here. Real fast. Do you know what a shark bite is?
Yep.
Right? Does anybody know what a shark bite? Doesn't know. Okay, shark bite is a temporary, understand this word, temporary fix for a plumbing installation. So for example, you're under the sink, things screwing up, and it's already soldered in, and you got to cap it off. You can put a shark bite on there, and it just slides on, but there's a lot of handymen out there that are doing plumbing with shark bites.
Yeah, taking it as permanent plumbing, treating it
as a permanent. But shark bites are actually just a temporary installation. Okay? Any comments, questions so far? I know you don't like me already. Nobody else?
You're talking about finding contractors. Like I hired out a minute ago. One of my best ways is to ask people I know in this business who they're using. Mm-hmm. If you can't steal a contractor from your friends, who can you steal one?
Well, let's lead into the next question. First of all, I don't want to be derogatory, but they tend not to last.
None of them last.
Why is that?
Get burned out.
Burned out.
Don't know what they're doing.
Right. Here's a rule of thumb. If they were successful, they probably were not going to work for you.
We're not paying it.
Too expensive.
I mean, I'll only say that because I've been slapped so many times in my life, starting businesses with people. Oh man, we're going to be rich. We're going to, blah, 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 blah. And my mentor's like, if he needs you, there's something wrong. If he's so successful, he doesn't need to be rolling with you.
Stephen, I do a lot of new construction, and the people I use for new construction are where the contractors that are any good end up. They make twice or three times as much money as the people doing rehab construction. What I'm saying is, like my trim carpenter, he wouldn't touch the average rent house I own. He wouldn't even walk in it. Now, he does $500,000 houses, trim work, and he thinks the house in Del City ought to all be burned down. But now that's where he started out maybe being a good local contractor, and as he got better and better, he raised his sites. That's what happens to plumbers, electricians, and all of them. The new construction market is full of really high-quality contractors, but you can't afford them for rental property.
You can off hours at night or on the weekends.
Those guys, the good ones, don't work nights and weekends.
Okay. So where do you find good contractor, handyman, maintenance people? Where do you find them? Are you looking for? She's in the right spot?
No.
Oh, okay. Where do you find them?
I asked for referrals.
Referrals. Okay.
Facebook groups, Home Depot.
Word of mouth. Go to Lowe's in the morning.
Home
Depot at 6 in the morning.
Well, let's ask a handy woman. Ma'am, how do you get jobs?
How do I get jobs? Well, first off, just because I'm a handy person doesn't mean I'm not a really good contractor. I'd like to clear that
Well,
up.
so let's just clear up what a contractor is. Let's define, because you're getting confused between a trim carpenter and a contractor.
Right.
Okay, so let's just clarify, everybody, what's a contractor?
They oversee the subs.
They usually oversee the subs, or they're a general contractor, or they could be a contractor for a specific field. For example, HVAC contractor. He's knowledgeable, may have passed the test, may have a license, but he doesn't do the work. He just bids jobs. That's considered a contractor. Okay? And then under the contractor is a thing called a subcontractor. Okay? So she's defining that she is handy, can do the work, and she also knows how to contract. In contracting, what is really contracting? It's a numbers game. That's all it is. So when you look at someone as a lady, like when she says it doesn't turn me off that she's a lady, or that I don't care if she could do the job or not. As I'm hiring a contractor, it's usually based on percentages or a flat fee. I just want to make sure that one of the number one wholesalers, I mean the number one rehabber in town. Do you guys know who that is? Who's that?
Gentry.
No, he's building houses. Nathan Cow, right? Everybody knows Nathan Cow? His contractor is a lady. She's an older lady. She's very detailed. She's spreadsheet queen, and she knows how to get guys to do their job. That's a contractor. Okay? Now, it's a skill to be a contractor and that you're able to do it. Why is that advantage?
You can show, teach.
Well, they know what's up, not necessarily teach, because you shouldn't be teaching somebody. Is because they could finish the job if it needs to be done. Because why? Because these guys tend to disappear.
They also know when the job's done right or not.
Exactly.
Hold people to it.
Right, because that's what back to the whole tub situation. He doesn't know. He just needs a tub finished. He's just trying to sell it. He doesn't know what a $600 job versus a $200 job is. Right? But that contractor should know, if they're upfront and honest. Yeah, if I've done 13 tubs before, I know what to look for. If the dude buys the product at Lowe's, we probably got a problem. Right? Okay. So we know what a contractor is. We know what a handyman is, or another word could be a tradesman. What's a tradesman? Tradesman is specific for that industry. Like a trim carpenter is a tradesman. Now, a trim carpenter, this will go into my class next week. Okay, we don't have to spend all this time on this. Okay, so what's your name?
Lee,
Lee, what's your phone number?
405-549-8729.
Slow down, everybody write her number down.
I got cards.
I'm telling you right now, you cannot have enough handy people in your world. Seriously, you can't. You can't. When you need somebody, they're not going to be there.
What was the number again?
405.
549-8729.
Okay, so dear, what was your name again? Who? Lee?
Lee.
Lee. So how do you find jobs?
Almost every job I've ever had in the last 10 years is a referral.
Refer. Okay. So you have not struggled for work at all for 10 years?
I struggle on occasion during dark winter months.
Okay, good. Honest. I love the guy. I asked that question. They lie. They lie, you're gone. But she's honest. She's been getting referrals for 10 years. Let's interview this chick because it'll be on. 10 years. And then she's like, and when it's cold outside. Okay, what's the scope of work? What do you like to do?
What I like to do, I like to do high-end flooring. A lot of times with patterns in it and design.
But ceramic, tile,
Ceramic,
porcelain. Is that what you're saying when you say high-end floor? Are you talking about like wood, bamboo?
Porcelain, anything with like a different pattern that looks different.
Okay.
That has a little artistic flair to it. I'm really good at tile, but I hate doing tile.
Okay. Now, when you find a job that you don't know what you're doing, how do you handle that?
First thing I do is I have a lot of friends in this business. I have a lot of people who retired. I'll give one of them a call. If I think they have more experience in it, might help me out, I'll bring them on the job if I need to. And if it's something that I'm not comfortable doing, and I don't think I'll get comfortable doing, then I talk to the owner immediately and say we need to either bring somebody else in or figure something else out. Because I don't ever want to do a job that I don't feel comfortable that I can do it right.
Okay. Do you oh, you got a call?
No.
Do you prefer to do the work or for you to contract it out?
Well, because
You should write that question down, everybody.
I'd rather contract it out, but I do most of the work myself.
Okay. That's the number one question I ask. I'll start with a person, and they do good work, but their dream is to be a contractor. But the person you're trying to find is that gal. Why? I prefer to do the work. She just enjoys her job. She enjoys the challenge. She wants to do it. If it's a bigger job, and she knows that on my timetable, I'm assuming you probably farm that out, communicate that to the homeowner, and say it's going to be this much more for me to manage it. Okay? Wow. Well, anyway, my friend tipped me off that you were coming today, and they said that you were awesome.
Well, I appreciate it.
Okay, so let's get back to it. Any questions so far on contractors or handyman or maintenance person? Anybody? When we keep, if you don't, there's an outline on the back of this piece of paper. Okay, that I'm trying to follow.
So you don't ask them how much?
That leads to this third one down. Unskilled labor for skilled labor. Okay? Never have an unskilled labor doing skilled work. And for sure, do not have a skilled person doing unskilled work. What does that mean? Anybody want to take
It's
it?
not a trowel.
Right. You don't want your trim carpenter guy, hanging light bulbs. Right? You're paying him X amount of money to do a job that someone that $8 an hour can do. Okay? So, and vice versa. Don't try to get a $10, $8 an hour guy to pour concrete in front of your house and you want it stamped and dyed and feathered and have a pitch on it and call the truck and understand how to. Does anybody know how to calculate concrete? It's fascinating.
I do.
Right? Okay. So the question is, good question, right? How much should we pay? So Lee, I'm sorry, we're going to continue to utilize your services today. What do you charge? How does it work?
Well, a lot of people want me to give a breakdown of I charge this much for flooring, this much for painting, square footage. I don't charge like that, and some people are turned off by that. I generally charge by the scope of the job.
Okay.
Because if I just charge by footage, most of the time it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. I generally just my first estimates. I like to go by the scope. If it's a small job, I'll go square footage.
What is that like? 200 square foot, a bathroom? Because to me, a bathroom is a lot more intricate.
Well, a bathroom I charge if I'm doing the whole reno. Bathroom, everything, the plumbing, the electrical, the new fixtures, the tile work, the painting, the trim, all of that. That's a standard set price unless there's something very specific they want that's extra, like a steam shower.
Oh, that's possible.
Other than that, that's just a standard set price based on how big it is and how much work it is.
All right, so give me an average of a bathroom remodel.
And like a standard hall bath for your kids and whatnot, 22 to 25.
1,000?
100.
Oh. Is that just? It's like.
That's labor only?
That's my next question. That's labor or is that?
Just labor.
Okay.
Just like I say, yeah.
Okay,
Otherwise,
make sure-
I was going to have 42 of them for you today.
I ran into some the other day. I don't. Never mind. So, how do you know what's a good price? Right? I mean, you got to. Reality is, how do you really know what's a good price? I remember you're telling me you're paying $3,000 to remodel a whole house. I'm like, that's a good deal.
Mm-hmm.
But how long is he going to work till? He probably earned $3,000 worth of work, but
Definitely.
but the guy didn't finish the job and burned him in the middle of a job. And when you have a day job and you're trying to hire someone, it creates a lot more extra stress. So anybody want to take a chance? We got prizes up here. Pick all you want. What's the price? Come up with an answer. What you're willing to pay for. What you're willing to pay for. What you're willing to pay for. But no one wants to be taken advantage of. Right? Is $35 good for a trim carpenter? Go ahead.
Yeah, I go on that website, homewise.com.
That's it. Homewise.com. H-O-M. Yeah, you know. I'm so tired. HOMEWYSE.com. It's a great website. It just gives you, especially if you're new to the game and you want to really kind of get a perspective, and that's the number one thing I said in the beginning, is like you need to know what you need, what you're looking for, and what it should kind of generally cost. Right now we're at $600 to $250 to redo a tub. Well, I can buy a flipping tub for $168.
Then you still got to tear it out. You got to put it back.
Right.
You gotta
If
do all the other
it's a
things.
tub
There's
surround
a lot more
around it,
cost
but
in
listen, if there was a tub surround, how much does a tub surround cost? $60, $80.
Yeah.
So I'm in it for $240 right now.
That's
If it's just a
real
ghetto
low
cheap
deal.
rent house.
Yeah.
So if it was me, I would just put a brand new tub in there because the young lady or the gal that's going to rent that place, she's going to see a brand new tub. She's going to be juicy. Woo! I'm ready. But if she sees some ghetto-ness, she's not going to rent the place. So it depends on what you're trying to get.
Well, now, like, there's every kind of condition out there. Like, I've got a house now, it's got a bad tub in it, but it's got a gorgeous bunch of tile work around that tub that it all had to be torn out to get the tub out. I'd rather spend $500-600 to fix the tub, not have to screw around with anything else.
Well, there's
Depends on how.
like acrylic that you can pour over a tub I've saw
My
called
guy, he
rebat.
came out and bead blasted everything and then built it back up.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about doing. Is that kind of a heavy duty job, and the reason is because it's a hell of a nice house, and I don't want to. I can spend $5,000 getting this one looking as good as it looks now, except for the tub itself, and everything's different. That's why I'm asking. It's not something I do every day.
Right. So what is it worth for you to pay for? Are you willing to?
$250.
Okay.
I'm cheap, and in this business, if you're not cheap, you're going out.
I just have no comments after people say stuff like that. What do I say? You don't like cell phones and you're cheap.
That's
Damn.
A start. That's a damn good start right there. Go in computers. We got it. We're halfway home.
Wow. This is all right. Back to what you gonna pay for it. Now I just learned something the other day, guys. The reason why I fail all the time, and I think to be successful is to fail. Is to fail as much as you can fail within reason. But I was running my mouth a couple months ago. I'm paying $35 for this trim carpenter. This dude is amazing. Only on one thing. But I had that dude doing this, doing that, and then it was horrible. And it was somewhat related. He was really good at playing in his wood shop. He can craft these weird items that I needed him to get done for a property. He can do it. But for him to hang cabinet doors, I just want to stab the guy. Because when I run the numbers, I paid you how much? You could find a detail guy at $15 an hour can make those cabinets sing when they opened. But every freaking cabinet door that dude touched was jacked the F up. Not only was jacked up, $35 an hour jacked up, plus the next person I got to pay to go back and redo his work. So I'm paying what? Minimum $50 an hour. Because why? I thought I was cool. I'm hiring trim carpenter for 30. He was amazing at one thing he did, and he barely even got that right. He barely attached it right. So what am I willing to? I thought I was cool because I was willing to pay $35 an hour because I needed to get the job done. Don't think that the higher the cost the person. Now she's $2,200. I'm like, everybody ready to leave the room? Girl, let's work this out. Because I just fired my maintenance guy today. For real. Like, that's why I'm so amped the F up. Because I just went to a property, I just picked up trash, I'm on fire. And it's just like, I was like, what is wrong with my company? I got these baller accountants, I got these baller attorneys, I got all these people. But I'm failing miserably in this area. And I realized that, I'm gonna do a podcast, I probably won't, I'm so burned out. That every person is important, every person is the chain and the link. And if one person is weak, if you're gonna get $8 an hour handyman, I'm telling you right now, it's gonna destroy your whole deal. At this point in time, I was like, look, I put the foot down at the crib, at the office. I was like, look, whatever it takes, we want the very best maintenance man we can find. I don't care. I want a guy with a truck. I want this, or a gal with a truck that this blah 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 blah. They got a cell phone. They better answer. Right? Are they willing to work on the weekends? Are they willing to work in emergency? Okay. So don't fall to my mistake because I thought I was paying somebody $35 an hour. And I equate everything. Everything I do when I walk, I add everything up. And so this item that this guy built for me was a $1,400 item. It was a fancy hood for this high-end house. And when I Googled it up and did all the research, just to buy this little fancy hood thing was $1,400. I was like, wow, I'm never doing this again. That was the first thing that came across my mind. So people actually pay for this kind of $1,400? And this is like pre-order. I can't imagine what a real trim carpenter would charge. Well, anyway, I got hired this dude, and it was like $200 in the material. Took his sweet time getting it done, of course.
It's a prerequisite.
Because it's amazing. I'm $35 out, I'm going to take my time. I got to go to the bathroom real slow. Hey, man, you got toilet paper? I didn't see no toilet paper in there, buddy. I mean, he was in there for a while, a couple times. It's like, homie, you all right? He was in there for a long time. One time, I'm like, how much did we pay you an hour? No bathroom breaks. For real, he was in there for at least an hour. I paid $35 for that man to go to the restroom. Now, but it's okay that I let that one slide because I like the bathroom. I like going in there. I like hanging out in there. I like to read. Get on my Facebook posts. You know when I'm in the bathroom when I'm on Facebook. So you do too.
I don't have Facebook. I'm sorry.
Well, hang out with that gal. But when I added it all together, it may have cost me $700 to do this job, maybe $800 to do this thing. So in my mind, guess what? How much am I saving? $600, right? Good job. You get a book. You want another Napoleon Hill?
Sure.
Okay. Or his friend.
Yeah.
All right. So, but then I had the guy, since I was saving $400, I had him do other stuff. It just snowballed in my face, and it's just like, man, I had to let the dude go, and then I had, anyway. That's what I've been dealing with. That was like 2 days ago. Huh?
That's why I worked with them at first.
Okay.
I don't know their skill level. They say
You don't work with them at first. You call me about 40 times a month.
All right. So, okay, you were going to raise, sir, over there with the glasses, you were going to raise your hand. You raised your hand and said, something about, oh, HUMWAS, I'm sorry. All right, moved on, my bad. All right, what is it worth for somebody to pay? What is it worth to hire a handyman? Anybody want to just take a chance? How much, you got a lot to say. How much would you pay for a handyman?
Depending on the job, usually like $15-20 an hour.
Okay, $15-20 an hour. Property manager, $15-20 an hour. Anybody else? Nobody want to pay $35 an hour?
Nope.
10 to 18.
12 to 18.
I would suggest to you, from my experience, that you need to break your handyman down into what you want that handyman to do, because he's not a jack of all trades. For instance, I have a handyman that does things like tree trimming and mowing and stuff. He's not the handyman that goes and puts a
drywall
valve in a toilet, he's a different handyman.
Yeah, I made that mistake. Brown's Lawn Care Service. Had him hang some drywall. Oh.
Yeah, that was a hell of a
But I'm a handyman, man. I can do it all. So you can pick on me party. All right.
Yeah,
So
go back to that referral part.
Referral.
You referred him too.
lawn care. I'm always clear when you ask me for a referral. Don't have the guy touch drywall. He'll say he can do it, but he can't. All right, let's talk about bids. Lee, $2,200 for you to come into my property, and you're gonna do. How do you do a bid, and how does it work from there?
Well, I've noticed that a lot of people have their own ideas of how they want their bidding done, but I'm not a computer person. I'm not an office person. My bids are, I'll write
Back of a
it
business
on
card?
paper, or text it to you if you're lucky. I won't email it because I don't know how to make
Email? Man, everybody.
Like that.
We're gonna have a tech class.
But I can build you a beautiful bathroom.
Do you have pictures
I have
when you
pictures.
bid somebody? To walk us through the process. I got your name from Sally next door, and she's like, call Lee. I'm like, oh, why? And she's like, oh, Lee's amazing. You sure? So I go over there and look at Lee work, and then I call you up, and then you show up on my property. You say $2,200, and you show me a book of pictures.
Yeah.
And then you write down the price.
I ask what they want, what their expectations are. I tell them, give them a materials cost of what they're looking at. I usually spend quite a lot of time discussing, because it's in the first discussion you have with somebody where a lot of misconceptions can come into place. And then I'll send the bid and ask them, please look this closely over. Did I miss something? Did I miscalculate something? And then they'll say, well, this was different. And it's usually a two-bid process before we finally come to an arrangement. And then we both know exactly.
What do you mean by, like, you give them one price and then they look at it?
No. I'll send them the bid, and sometimes they'll say the bid's too high, and then I'll say, well, life's hard.
Would any investor say it's too high?
Yeah.
Always.
Do you work for retail people, regular people, landlords?
I work for just about everybody. I work for investors, I work for flippers, I work for homeowners, I do commercial.
How many jobs do you have going at one time?
At one time, only one.
So you're only focused on one.
Yeah.
And so, are you on a job right now?
Yeah.
So I call you up, ring, with a cell phone.
I won't answer it generally during
Girl, I
the
need-
day if I'm at work.
Okay, all right. So you call me back at 7 o'clock at night. Hey, I need you to change out this toilet. What would you say to me?
Right now?
I can't go to the bathroom.
Well, of course, that's my first question is, you want
Oh, not right now. All right. What's your schedule? That's my question I always say. What's your schedule?
If it's an emergency call like that, generally the work I do, I can get on it either. If it's an emergency, I can usually get on it that night, or I can get it the next day.
And then would you tell the person that you're on the job, hey, I got to leave the job to go do this job?
Because of the jobs that I have that kind of relationship where they don't stand over me with a stopwatch. They trust me to do my job on time and be done. And most of the people I work with, they don't even come by every day. So.
Okay, so I'm teaching you what's happening here. Let's just flip it on our side. How many times have you been on a job when the guy's disappeared, he's going to go bid another job, or he's working on another job?
Pretty much all the
Oh,
time.
you're
Every
saying what I
time.
tell
No. I'm making you look good. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
At least every day.
I'm making you look good. You're handling it well. I'm just saying. The next word on here is called scams.
Oh,
Because what happens is someone commits to you, and what do? They just slow play you for weeks on end, right?
that happens a lot.
Yeah, I'm not saying that you do that. I was just trying to teach these people how to communicate with the person that you're hiring.
Usually they
'Cause
clear out your bathroom and then
But did you hear what she said? She said, I'm only doing one job at a time, and what was she willing to do?
Not answer calls during the day.
Right, but what was she did? She said, I'll get to it if it's an emergency. Is everything an emergency? Yes. You lost your damn mind. Everything's an emergency. When there's green involved, it's in an emergency. Not for me. I'm just saying, in reality, everyone thinks that way, right? You want your cell phone fixed today? What's the number one? The cell phone's fixed today.
What about the fact that if you lose your temper at one of them and you which is fairly easy to do if you're a difficult person like me. You know, my guy was going to put windows in Tuesday. He still hasn't called me today.
Well,
but
that's what I'm trying to get
put 'em
to.
in
You
tomorrow.
handled it perfectly. I'm not trying. I'm just trying to show them on the opposite side. Be careful, because there's these certain types of people that will, like a lot of young rookie investors, they don't understand this thing called holding cost. And how long is a job really going to take? Now, yes, I see contractors come bid me jobs, work on it for 2 or 3 days, and guess what? They disappear for 2 or 3 days. Then they disappear 2 or 3 days. Then they disappear for a week. And then I got to have the conversation with them. Hey, when this is going, you understand? This is what I'm trying to teach you. If you get this question, she said, I only do one job. Well, I would hire her just for that. But then I'm trying to get her to lie. I was like, hey, what if it's an emergency? Right? Hasn't anybody been on a job? I got to go. It's an emergency. That happened to me yesterday at 3:45. 3:45. I'm on a job where I got 10 guys on a job. I have to have this job has to be done by tomorrow by 7 a.m. because I have another cleaning crew coming in. Right? And it's 3:45. We're all sweating balls out here. We're doing it. We're going to town. Dude's like, hey, boss. That's my favorite word. Yeah, okay, mother. Hey, I gotta go do blah blah blah. You know, he's straight lying to me. I'm like, and of course I know the game. I'm like, where you gotta go? Why? Right now? I'll be back 45 minutes. You see what I'm saying? But now in this case, she probably would be upfront and honest with me. She's working on one job. She'd say, I really do have an, you know. Now they were up till midnight last night working on this property. Right? But you need to be paying attention to this when you're working with a specific company or a group of guys or a group of gals, whoever you're working with, get that understood. Because the last thing on that on the form there on your outline, it says timetable. Now, does everybody know how construction works? In Oklahoma City, you guys know they see the bridge over here that they're trying to build, right? I guarantee that job is on a timetable. This is probably the most elaborate thing Oklahoma City's probably ever done, besides build Devon Energy, because they're moving a train track. Right? Does anybody know what's going on over here? It's pretty remarkable.
Train track?
Yeah, it's going to be nutty, because Oklahoma has the #1 train route or whatever, and it does not stop. Like that train is going to stop for like a few hours, and they're going to swap that deal out 24 hours. Now, the point of that whole deal is, this is what they do on roads. If it's not done by October 31st, and I'm making this up, I don't know the real date, what happens? They get charged. But they also have in their contract, if they get it done before, incentives. Now, Lee, I don't mean to pick on you.
Yeah, you do.
Does this work for you? Can you hit that timetable, and how does that work? Because it's impossible in our world, right? Construction world.
I generally
Do you put that in a contract? Do you put that on your bid? How does that work? Walk us through that.
That's the second biggest question. How long is it going to take? And for the most part, unless something unforeseen is behind the walls, like, you know, termites have eaten every single piece of wood inside, or there's something living in the walls, you can come pretty close to your estimated date. Unless materials are on hold or something like that. These people who go far and beyond their estimated finish dates, I don't understand, because it's not that difficult to come within a day or two.
Well, you've been doing this for 10 years. I know that you've ran into a situation where there's a timed issue. How do you handle that? What do you say to the customer? And how should I respond besides, where's my reduction? I'm just playing. What would you say?
Are you asking me if they're...
Like, you're on a job, it's supposed to be done on Friday. You're at a job, it's supposed to be done on Friday.
Right.
And you know darn well that it's not going to be done by Friday. You're willing to come in on Saturday, but you can't come in on Saturday because it's your niece's birthday. You can't come on Sunday because you should go to church.
If I'm not going to have it finished on Friday, I'll never say it'll be finished on Friday. I will never.
No, but we talked about this last week. You said it's going to be done on Friday.
Then I would have told them at least 3 days in advance. 3 days in advance, you know you're not going to be finished.
Okay. So you're telling me you try to give a hard date and then you give days of grace in your world? Or you just operate... I'm just trying to figure out why I have problems with handy people.
Because most of the handy people think that you'll just take it.
Exactly.
That's why. That's the reason.
Or they don't know how to estimate their time.
Or they don't know how to estimate the job. This happened. What's your name?
Eric.
Okay, you get a prize.
Or
You should get this book.
And then go find another job. So they'll have a job after this job.
No, the problem that I see is that a lot of contractors, they underestimate their skill set and underestimate the scope of the job. And of course, they've worked really hard, they've done really good work, and by the time they're done, they didn't make any money.
Yeah.
You can't be ruthless like that as an investor, as a human being. You got to adjust for that. Now, some people, they got to learn, right? They're going to paint this whole room for $200. Okay. Let me know when you're going to be done. Oh, a month from now? Okay. An hour a week? You see what I'm saying? They just underestimate, or they want the bid so much. This is something that you got to be careful with. They want the job. They need the work so much. They offer such a low price, and then you're thinking that you're getting the deal because you're savvy, and it just backfires in your face.
Yeah. You take advantage of them, you may not have them in the future to take advantage of it if you underbid.
That's
something.
exactly what happened to you. Because when you told me about that guy, I was like, what did I say?
Yeah, you were interested.
Yeah, what's his name?
Well,
no, don't tell me his name.
Like,
I was like, what's his name?
Yeah.
I mean, what's his phone number?
Right.
I'm like, can I go see his work? Then I was sweating you like a donkey?
Yeah.
I was like, hey.
There have been times with a good contract when I'll say, "No, you've misjudged this. I need to give you another $500 or whatever because I know if I break him on this job, he won't be there down the road a month from now." But now the other side of the coin, what I was trying to say a minute ago, at times I have to give him some slack because a really, really good contractor, he's late for 3 or 4 days. If I get mad at him and don't use him, by God, I'm liable to be 3 months getting somebody as good as him to replace him. So it kind of is a two-way street with a good contractor.
Okay, how do you deal with, since you do your contracts on piece of paper, okay, and thank God you're still in business for 10 years. How do you deal with a disgruntled person? Like there's a miscommunication. Do you give them a reduction? How do you, that this job's a $6,000 job. You bidded it for $4,000. You have a contract or your text message because that's a legal contract. How do you handle that situation?
Well, I don't want to sound like I'm magical or anything, but that's not really happened to me in the last.
Well, I think if you budget properly, and I always factor in that. I think I really want to do a class on rookie, and it should be like you should factor to be successful in this game. You should factor failure rate. A lot of people just don't factor in that you're not going to have a tenant in. Like your banker is factoring in your money at 80%. You think that your vacancy is at 90? A real old school banker who's really loaning you money, he's factoring 80%. He's assuming you're going to fail. That's how banks approach you. They're assuming that you're not going to do well, so they're going to see if you can collateralize. They're going to see if you're not going to perform. I think if we take that same approach when we're doing construction, hey, this literally, I hope that this gets done in 3 days, but it may not, so I'm going to budget 10 days. Hopefully I can get my coupon from Lowe's and save $1,000 on my material, but just in case I can't save $1,000 on my material, or Fox Lumber doesn't have the door I need, for example, like let's just say I'm putting in a wall, and I mean, every time before I call somebody, I calculate what I think it's going to cost. And that's what you should do with the HomeWise app or the HomeWise thing. You should always have a general idea. Just one quick thing, $600, $250, okay? You have a general idea. You got $250, you got $600. How can we meet in the middle? Is $600 top of the line? Okay? So I have an idea what I'm going to figure out before. So I know for me that the lumber on that job to put this wall in, let's just say, it's 20 foot right there, 22 foot. I mean 2x4s. I would say $250 in material, just for the lumber. Okay, is there going to be electrical on that wire, on that wall? 2, 3. So I figured out. I think I could probably get that done for $1,200. But when I'm doing my job, when I'm bidding my job, when I buy a house, I'm like, that's $2,000. And sometimes in my world, I'm usually wrong, or if I'm, sometimes it's $2,200. But a lot of guys are going in, or gals are going in, they're saying $1,200, right? And they get a $1,200 bid because the guy needs to do the work, and then they're just upside down. And then you're just snowballs from there. So you've got to factor in, you should write this down, factor this in, the failure rate. What is it going to cost me, and what's a percentage? Let's see if any skilled real estate investors are in here. Let's just see what's a good factor rate. 20% is a very safe number. 30% if you really don't want to think about it. 10% would be the minimum. Think about getting married. Anybody been married? Did you stay on budget for your wedding? No. Right?
Yes.
Well, amen to you.
My dad was 60 when I was born, and he was a real skinflint. So I'm a skinflint too. My husband has changed.
Skinflint? What does that mean?
Conservative.
Oh, he didn't have a cell phone?
No, we had one phone in the house.
All right. So, rule of thumb, 20%. Okay, good job. 10% if you want to throw the dice. 15% would be a safe number. 30% would be I don't want to think about a number. So it's $1,000. So in this case, $1,200. I think it's going to be $1,200. Add 30% to that. That would be $300 and some change. So $1,800. I just ramp it up to $2,000. Okay. Does that help you? Mm-hmm. Can I get a book?
No. You make it 2 books.
All right. What are the things that we need to learn? Hey, Lee, thank you for participating. You get a prize as well. What would you like to tell us as real estate investors? Like, how could we be better educated to communicate to you better and make your job easier and make my job? Oh, we forgot about material. Yes. Let's do material real fast. Cool? Okay. Should you have your contractor buy material? Yes or no? No. Why?
And they're going to mark it up.
Mark it up?
And they're not going to be too careful with it.
So your motivation is about money?
Damn right. Money's important to me.
I'm going to tell you something about material here in a minute where you can get sued on. Here, let me tell you one story that just happened to me on material. So I had a roof done. I paid the roofer, wrote him a check. He did the roof. Everything's great. See you later, buddy. Next thing you know, I get a letter, certified mail, from the roofing supply company that says, hey, you owe us $2,000 in material. I said, no, I don't. I have a check stub right here. I paid this dude for the material and check. Nope. And I called my attorney. Nope, they have a case against you because why?
You own the property.
Mechanical lien on material on the property. Well, they didn't know the address. Yes, they did. Guess what?
They delivered it.
They delivered it. Okay, so is that a problem with material? So should you be cautious about material? I paid full price. I paid for the material. Now, of course, what did I have to do? What did I do?
To see the contract.
But believe me, I talked to the contractor. We had a good conversation. Because he has a cash flow problem because he doesn't know how to manage his money. He doesn't know how to pay his bills. We're going to affect your game.
And he probably
so that should be your answer for. So that should be for your answer for the material. So who should be buying the material?
You.
It's your responsibility, ultimately. Now, Lee, how do you handle material? We're doing a kitchen, 300 square foot of tile. You got a Honda Civic, we can't get that in there. Okay. So how does material work? Do I write you a material check? Do I call Home Depot?
The person I'm working for, if they're very comfortable and confident because they do this all the time and they want to handle the materials, if they do it all the time and they know what to get, I'll let them get it.
Do you give them a material list?
If they want a material list and they need it, I absolutely will provide a material list. I'll give preferences on what sort of materials, what sort of tiles, what sort of backboard, things like that. I will even go and get the materials if it's a problem.
Do you charge a fee for that?
Yeah. I'm not a nickel.
Well, I'm going to hire you whenever you're ready. Come on over. Let's do a job. You got to trust that. I mean, that's exactly how you should do it. She's, you just don't know, right? She sounds great, doesn't she? I don't even know this gal. I just saw someone text me before she got here. My blank friend's coming over there. She's got glasses on. She's handy. Oh, I can tell. That's her.
Teresa?
Nope. I don't want to reveal that investor because they may be keeping it private. It's none of my business. But they're a good friend of mine, and I trust them. And whatever that gal tells me, I definitely. If she said hire this gal, I'd hire that gal. It would be no problem.
Teresa has used her.
Oh, Teresa's used you too? Okay.
About her.
All right. Well, it was worth your time to come, correct? 3 minutes. What questions? Any questions? Everybody's all successful. Was this a somber landlord lunch? Was it valuable? We got to beat up poor Lee, and you handled yourself very well.
Have Lee give her phone number out again.
Yo, what's your phone number? 405 549 87. Listen, guys, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the world, cell phones or no cell phones, handyman are the most important thing for successful, or handy woman,
Handy
person, maintenance, repairs are your everything. Anybody got a question?
Lease card.
Everybody put your hands together for Lee.
Listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at savvyradioshow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook and always be buying assets.